The Jets beat the Cleveland Browns 31-30. What just happened in the last minute and 30 seconds of the game? The Jets score 14 points with no timeouts in Cleveland, without Zach Wilson, without Mekhi Becton, without Dwayne Brown, to beat a very, very good Browns team. What a game. What a game. It literally came down to the very end. Kenny Pickett could not connect on a Hail Mary with literally time expiring. The Jets walk away victorious 24-20. Absolutely insane. The New York Jets are 3-2 above 500. Today's October 9th, and the Jets are sitting here right now above 500. Okay, biggest game of the season against the Miami Dolphins, and they walked away victorious. Once again, the Jets play their best football in the fourth quarter. The New York Jets are for real. They just went to Lambeau and beat down the Green Bay Packers by 3 possessions. 27-10. Are you kidding me? To beat the Green Bay Packers is good enough, right? That's one thing. But then when we start factoring in little details like the Jets beating Green Bay in Lambeau. I mean, we all know Aaron Rodgers' record at home. Guys, Jets win undefeated on the road, 4 straight victories, 5-2 on the season. New England Patriots next week, 16-9 final score in Denver. Once again, this team was carried by the defense. The defense continues to show why they're elite. Let's go. The New York Jets just defeated the 6-1 AFC East leader Buffalo Bills. Final score 20-17. In my opinion, I think it's the biggest upset of the season so far, considering the Jets were, I believe, 11 to 12 point underdogs going into the game. I mean, what a matchup. What a game. Right. So week 12 is officially in the books, and the New York Jets just defeated the Chicago Bears. Final score 31-10. A massive win, a really important win to say the least. Guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So got a pretty long drive ahead of me here. So I was actually stopping to go get a coffee, and when I was sitting in the drive-thru, I was just thinking about Mike White, this Jets organization, this Jets team. And man, I gotta be honest with you, it really feels like everybody's on the same page. It feels like Mike White has really united this locker. Jets lose, and arguably the most pathetic performance that I've seen from this team all year. Given the context of where we're at in the season, the playoffs were still in reach. I know it was a long shot, but the Jets had an opportunity to make the playoffs. The path was clear. So the New York Jets have officially been eliminated from the playoffs. With 1 week left in the regular season, the Jets are out. The Jets are out after starting off so hot, winning, crazy wins on the road in Lambeau, in Denver, in Pittsburgh, having some awesome wins like against Buffalo. I mean, there were some great moments of the season. And, by the way, it's not over yet. We're going to talk about it, but it's a tough pill to swallow, man. It really stings that the Jets are eliminated. And in this one, I wanted to really ask the question, where do we go from here? What's next? But before I do, I did want to quickly just say, thanks so much for watching this channel. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. It really does mean the world. Finally the Jets have had, a relatively good season, comparing them to the previous years where the Jets are finishing, bottom 5, bottom 3. It's been rough, as Jets fans here, we all know this, but it seems like we have so much young talent in place. We have a lot of positions figured out with corner and wide receiver and running back. The list goes on, right? The Jets have some awesome pieces, and I cannot wait for the offseason. I really can't. And, it was an awesome ride, such a fun season, doing the previews, doing the recap videos, all the breaking news and stuff like that, and, going back and forth, messaging and go, comment section, like, it's totally awesome. You guys have no idea how much it means to me to see that you guys are like enjoying the content, and out of everywhere that you can kind of consume post-game content and pre-game content, like, you're clicking on this channel. So Just want to say it means the world. I really, really appreciate it. But when we ask the question, where do the New York Jets go from here? Short term, we got one more game left, and it's against the rival Miami Dolphins. We can play spoiler here, okay? I know it might hurt the Jets' draft position and everything like that, but at the end of the day, the Jets have an opportunity to ensure that the Miami Dolphins are bounced out of the playoffs officially. And to me, that'll be really, really cool. Growing up in Florida, a lot of my buddies are Dolphins fans, had to grow up with them and listening to them and stuff like that all the time. I was the only Jet fan in town, so to be in this position to where the Jets can potentially knock the Dolphins out of the playoff race, to me would be awesome. And more importantly, though, I really want the Jets to just play hard in this final game. You can make the argument, hey, the playoffs, the season was on the line against the Seattle Seahawks, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Where was the fire then? Where was the energy then? Right? This team looked like they rolled out of bed and they suited up and, went to go play the biggest game of the season, dropping 6 points. Like, it's just inexcusable football. Why would the Jets wake up now? I totally hear you. And personally, I'm questioning that as well. But my hope is that the Jets would come out and, just look like a formidable team. Don't end the season on a 6-game losing streak. A 6-game losing streak. Some of them were understandable against the Vikings, the Bills, but, that Lions game, that Jaguars game, the Seahawks game, I don't want the Jets to go out on a 6-game losing streak after starting the season so hot. So in the short term, for me, I want the Jets to play really, really hard. I want them to play like their hair is on fire against the Miami Dolphins. I know we're out of it, but to me, I think a lot can be shown when we're talking about leadership, when we're talking about pride, and we're asking the question, who really wants to be here? Who really wants to be a New York Jet? We'll find out. We'll find out who's playing hard. And this goes for the coaches as well. I don't want to see some, I hate to be rude, but crap game plan like we saw against the Seahawks. I want the Jets to be sharp. I know we're out of it, but I want the Jets to be sharp. More long-term thinking, right, as we approach this offseason, the number one thing that I want the Jets to do is find a quarterback option. I feel like this is, I speak for a lot of Jets fans, but I want the franchise quarterback. I do. Maybe it's not year to year that the Jets are replacing quarterbacks, but, I just want some consistency. I want some stability. I want to be able to rely on a guy to be there week in and week out, know what we're going to get. I'm not saying he has to be Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen, something like a top 3 quarterback in football. If the Jets could go out and land an Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson, sign me up for that every day of the week. But I just want consistency, right? Assuming another free agency class is going to be brought in, assuming another full draft class is going to be brought in, this team should be better theoretically than this year. Next year's team should be better than this year's. Let's go get a quarterback that can propel this team into the playoffs as opposed to holding the team back. And there's so many question marks. There's so many storylines. There's so much drama surrounding this position every single year. Let's just go out and get somebody that's just level-headed, consistency, not too high, not too low. We know what we're going to get, and that's it, right? That's it. Whether that's a Jimmy Garoppolo, whether that's a Derek Carr, again, whether that's a Lamar Jackson or an Aaron Rodgers, there's plenty of options out there. I know some people have been talking about Gardner Minshew or maybe bringing in Geno Smith, a Daniel Jones, a Mike White. Like, there's options. There are options at the quarterback position for the Jets, and expect a ton of videos on this topic as the days and weeks go on. Maybe not days just because the season's still going on, but, leading up to free agency, expect a ton of content on that subject, as time goes on here. But, try to get the answer. We got to get the franchise quarterback in the building. We need consistency. We need somebody who we can really rely on a week-to-week basis. Next up, and I know it's pretty boring to talk about here, but to me, it's a necessity. The Jets have got to identify problems on special teams. Special teams has killed this squad this season. And to me, it's gotten to the point where it's not just, oh, it's just, that one bad punt, or, oh, the weather's really, really bad, or it's just a downpour. It's continuing to see bad punts. It's continuing to, blow games or give the opposition great positions to start drives. Whether it's, Braxton Berrios letting the ball go over his head. Again, bad punts. We saw one in the Seahawks game. It was like a 25-yard punt. I don't know if it was tipped or not. Special teams has just been an ongoing issue. I think for me, I'm definitely bringing back Zerline, Greg the Leg. To me, a lot more pros than cons this season, so I'm happy that we got the kicker position figured out, but I don't want the Jets to continue to blow games because of special teams. Is it the worst in football? Probably not, but to me, they're definitely a liability. And then last but not least, identify the team needs. Heading into free agency, okay, I'm not talking about midway through February, I want this list done. I'm talking about now. Joe Douglas needs to be on this right now. Identify the needs of this football team. Scan the market, who's out there, and come up with a sound, bulletproof plan. I'm talking plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. There has to be backup plans here. Safety, offensive line, maybe bringing back the guys that were on one-year deals, guys that are set to hit the open market, figuring out what the best plan of attack should be when it comes to the free agency market, comparing that to the NFL draft. I know it's pretty tough to kind of, speculate where the Jets are going to be picking and trying to base a plan around that within this week. We're going to have to wait, at least one more week here. But, as far as free agency goes, we have a pretty good understanding of who's all going to be out there. Some guys are going to re-sign, some guys are going to get tagged, some guys are going to get locked up for the long term, which is fine. But, if the Jets have a need, like let's say at free safety, there needs to be multiple plans in place. Have your number one target, have your number two target, have your number three target, and go down the list, because I felt like at times last year, the Jets would maybe miss out on a guy and then it was just too late and they're scrambling and it just seemed like it was a mess. So identify the positions of need and come up with that bulletproof plan. So once free agency gets here, you're not scrambling. You can follow the roadmap. You can follow the plan that you installed for the past couple of months. I think that's really, really going to benefit this football team. Again, you're not going to have all the details. You're not going to have all the contract numbers and know exactly what people want. And of course, there's I'm not saying to tamper or anything like that, but we can go down the list of guys with expiring contracts here and come up with a formidable plan who fits the scheme, who fits the culture, stuff like that. So for me, disappointing to make the playoffs for sure, but the one bright spot, the Jets are going in the right direction, and I'm excited about that. And this is going to be a really, really exciting offseason. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.